besides that one time I told you about in the bike. But one time when I was driving around in the little Corolla, I think we were in Margaret River, and we pulled up to this. You know how they like have like roadworks or whatever, and it was like a little one of those electronic stop sign things where they just got like a red light and a green, so you can they goes like one way onto the road for a little bit. And there was a bank of cars, and I was like the third or fourth one back, and we started slowing down to pull up to that. And this like we got down to like a stop, and then this chick behind me just starts beeping her horn, and I'm like looking back, going like, "What the hell is she on about?" You know what I mean? Like, because there's cars in front of me, I can't go anywhere. And I don't know if it went green or they just let a couple of people through or what the go was, but we moved up. We were going about 20 k's, maybe 30 k's an hour for about 100 meters, and then slowed down again. And when I slowed down again, this chick just went straight into the back of me, not hard, but she just went like tap, and I felt it through the car. And I was just like, what the fuck? So, of course, I stopped, and I had a mate in the car with me and my girlfriend at the time. And me and the mate both sort of like opened the door to like pull over and like assess the damage. And this chick's just fucking turned the wheel and just pulled out and gone around the two cars in front of us and me and like busted down that single thing. And I was like, what the fuck? And I've gone around, looked at the back of the car, absolutely no damage bar. Like it's just like done one of those plastic dent things that you can pretty much just take the panel off and pop out anyway. But I was like, what the fuck? Like, she beeps me like I'm fucking holding her up when there's, like, clearly a stop thing there. I'm like the third car back. And then runs into the back of me and then bails through the thing. And then maybe a second after I got back in the car, it went green anyway. And we followed her for a little bit, and she fucking sped off and went down the second thing. And we were just like, ah, fuck this. There was no real damage anyway. But it was hell weird. And you just don't know what some people are going to do. But at the same time, raging at them like that, it's just not going to get you anywhere, right?
No, well, I haven't done any raging. It's so funny, my dodgy clips, eh? Have you seen my dodgy clips of people? There's such funny moments that people, you might have seen previously in other videos of people have made and they rage. And then I'm just like, all right, next clip. Just showing what happened in my dodgy clips. But yeah, I noticed you changed the description of this hangout. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So raging, is it worth it? I mean, what do you get out of that? What do you get out of raging? You obviously get worked up. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know, I guess you just kind of blow off steam or something like that, maybe, but I just can't figure out much of a way it's going to help you out, you know what I mean? Especially in a situation like that. Like, what would be either you just leave or, yeah, like you say, if they fucking did hit you, you stop, the bike's in front of them. They can't really do too much. You fucking walk around to their window and say, fucking give me your fucking license, cunt, and your details, and take down his number plate and check his stuff's all right.
Yeah, if someone hits you, yeah. Someone touches your vehicle with their vehicle, that's a collision. You need to get on that. But you didn't even think to chase the person down, like when they kept going and you obviously knew there was a collision.
Who are you talking about? Me?
Yeah, well, the story you just said. You're saying
no,
someone hit you.
Really, because they were off at like 100 and fucking something k's an hour, and it was like a 70 zone in this little thing, and it would have been like a cop pursuit or something silly if I did that, and it wasn't worth it. I had people in my car. I wasn't going to take that extra risk to chase them down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you just ignored it completely,
Well,
essentially.
there's not much else I could do. I didn't get the number plate. None of us did. All we could do is go down to the police station and report it, really. And what will we say? A black Kia ran into the back of me, but we didn't get any other details than that it was a chick. Do you know what I mean? But what are we going to do?
So how quick did they disappear in turning?
Oh, pretty quick because we were stopped for a start. They went past the 3 cars that were in front of us and us, and then
Oh,
went
they
off down
stopped.
the road. I had to get back in the car and start it up and go to take off again. But of course, there was cars in front of me, so I wasn't just going to overtake them stupidly and fucking put myself at risk again. So again, what did you want me to do? If it was on the bike, maybe then I would follow them. And just follow at a safe distance, and then either get their registration details or whatever, and then report it or something. But chasing them down like an idiot and putting yourself at risk is probably not the best way to go about it, I don't think.
Well, no, you're not attempting to stop them or anything. You'd definitely just be getting details if you were to attempt to get closer to someone who's attempting to run.
Yeah.
So, but how quick was it like that? So they obviously made contact with your bumper very slowly, as you said. So,
Well, yeah, I assume she just was trying to get up my ass, and then of course we stuck on the brakes, and then she was just too close and just fucking hit us. But as soon as I stopped the car and opened the door and put one foot out of the door, she was off and driving around us.
so
you know
you
what I mean?
you moved forward enough to give them enough space to turn away.
Well, only just, I suppose. How far do think about when you're parking or parallel parking, you don't need a lot of room, do you? You need maybe
So
a
was
meter
it
at max.
2 lanes, or are you talking about like the shoulder that someone's gone down?
No, well, it was 2 lanes, obviously one coming, opposing each
Oh.
other, and then
Yeah.
just not a dual carriageway, but just 2 lanes on a single road sort of thing. And then it was, like I said, they were stopping it to go, into like a one-way thing because there was road work or something there for like 100 meters. All I can think is that as soon as I stepped out of the car, she's looked up, seen that the light was green to go, and just gassed it around us and around the other cars, which then at that point the light had only just gone. They hadn't even had time to take off yet. Went around them and got in front, and then I was still stuck behind other cars. But regardless, it's not like I'm going to fucking, again, put myself at risk to go and chase her down.
No, well, I've been rear-ended before in my old S15, and well, that was just at a traffic light, and they thought it was green, and they let go of their brake and went forwards, looked at their passenger when it wasn't actually green for us. But then I moved, or the car in front of me went out the way, and I ended up being at the front of the lights for the next cycle. But I moved forward enough to then get the number plate in my rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Just in case, right? So, but then there's another time that I was rear-ended, but I had a tow bar at the time, so it's pretty irrelevant to me. And then I just pulled over, and they pulled over as well.
Yeah.
And then that was the first time I had ever been rear-ended, and I didn't think of number plate or anything. I just pulled out and parked in the bicycle lane there. Like in that situation, I suppose the potential for the person to have gone around. But being in front, just at a traffic light, you have to signal to the person behind, obviously, they've just hit you because we're moving out the way of traffic now, and we're going to go this direction so that we can pull over. So obviously, in that point, you want to grab their number plate in case they take one of the other 2 options and turn the other way.
Yeah. Really like to see the whole video though. It's good that you at least got to see it, the YouTube version or whatever, before it went went down. But be nice to see the whole raw footage. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole lot.
From like 10 minutes before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, well, yeah, assuming. All right, you've linked in the chat now. All right. Well, assuming, as he said on the start of his video, which you haven't seen, as you're saying, he said how the car had been swerving or changing lanes erratically, I suppose, and tailgating. If you did see the footage before, then it would be on that footage of what the car was doing, yes, but it doesn't. You know, his reaction isn't to what was directed at him specifically. It doesn't seem necessary.
Mm.
I mean, you know,
Doesn't he tell Bale stab him at one point?
Yes.
I know you're worked up, but that's a bit fucking over the top. You know what I mean?
Well, at that point, the car's swerved at him. He's in left lane, and the car's in the
That was
right lane.
before that, but maybe yeah, you could be right.
No, I think at that point the car swerved at him. Oh, I don't even know about swerved from the footage. I would say wandered into the left lane. Not really, didn't seem suddenly. That but wandered towards him in the lanes. But no, you can see at that point things have escalated by then, and he's trying to defend, maybe. I mean, aggressively, but yes, defend back.
I think why would you sort of? You shouldn't really be defending back. Do you know what I mean? To like either get the spot back or whatever. You should just be moving away. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he should be moving away. He should be avoiding the situation. He should be calm, or
there's got to be a couple of million kilometers of road in Australia. You don't have to be in the same 2 meters of it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Yes, at that point you don't. Why are you trying to get people to pull over? I mean, when you're already swearing and whatever, acting
Like that guy,
violently.
like one of those guys at the pub where you fucking accidentally bumps into you, and then he's actually just trying to start a fight. He's like, "Oh, you want to take this outside?" And you're just like, "Fuck off, dickhead."
Well, in saying that, the car drivers obviously kept on with it and not just ignored it either. So neither of them were ignoring it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was, but you know, he's the one who's really more at risk. Get yourself out of the situation. You know what I mean? Like, car's going to get a dent. You're going to get a fucking hospital bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and for sure, if that guy wanted to knock him off, like he could have. So I don't think he was. Could just assume. So let's assume the car driver's obviously worked up for some reason. He's tailgating people and swerving, and then he comes behind this motorbike. Maybe he's trying to get close to. Obviously, as he's getting close to everybody, so he's just getting close to hopefully his bike gets out of the way quicker. I don't know. Right. And then he catches up to him again because he wants to go faster than the motorbike's going. So he's tailgating again, and then the motorbike changes to the left lane, and the car driver's windows down, huh?
Have you still got a link to it?
To the video. Well, yeah, it's because I get. Why? It's private or whatever. No, it's deleted. It's unavailable. Why would it's put a link?
Ah,
Well, the title was "Driver Tries to Kill Me." If that's what you mean.
oh yeah, I think I've seen that in the news bit on the screen. Ah. Long neck of Jim Beam. Fuck, it tastes good. That one
So
baby.
the car's already worked up because he's in a rush or whatever, and he's tailgating his motorbike, and the motorbike changes lanes, and then starts shouting at you. What's your problem? You know, through your window that's open. And then, so the car driver's obviously, well, we can assume that he would say, you know, what do you mean, what's the problem? You know, I don't know. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why are you swearing at me? And then, I don't know, pull over. I don't know. Who said pull over first, or I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose you can't really hear what the other dude's saying as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I think if he just ignored the tailgating, then it would have been alright. You know, why do you have to start swearing? What's your problem? I don't know, see that. And then maybe the car's, maybe he said pull over. I can't remember now. So if he said pull over and then the car's like, okay, and then starts turning slowly towards him, I don't know how that helps.
Yeah.
Either way, rage is rage. Rage is not worth it, because that's the question mark in the description. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think there's.
Well, that's what I mean. I can't think of any way where it's gonna like.
You know, you're gonna.
People are not just gonna do what you want. Like, what is he gonna want to do? Pull over so he can fight him? Okay, well, why would he pull over then? So you can take a swing at him? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, let's just think in simple mechanics.
But in saying that, the car did attempt to pull over and follow him around the side street.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's up with the boat, either of them.
I think the guy would have pulled over and he wouldn't have done much at all, or would have fucking ridden off, and then been like, "Oh fuck
He
this."
did ride off. He did ride off. But as a car driver, to continue the rage, I don't get it. I've had this time when I was in my van and I was turning left onto a dual lane road. So there's a car coming from my right, obviously in the second lane, and I'm turning left into the first lane.
Yeah.
I pull out, turn. The guy in the right lane is just beeping constantly for no reason, obviously because I'm turning into a lane that he's not in. And I'm like, well, whatever, kept going. As I straighten up, I'm like, oh, I want to be in the right lane, so I just floor it right up to the 60, going a bit faster than him. And there's enough space for me to change lanes as well, so I just change in front of him. Pull up at the lights. He's behind me. That's fine. Keep going. Another 2 sets of lights. He comes up next to me and says, "Oh, you just hit me." I'm like, what are you talking about? I was turning the left lane and he's in the right lane. I don't know. And he's like, I'll report you. I'm like, oh, go on. Report me. Do it. That's fine. So there's me essentially ignoring it or telling him and attempting to tell him that, well, I was in the left lane and you were in the right lane. I don't know why you're beeping at me back there. I don't know what's wrong. What's wrong with you, mate?
Yeah.
Just trying to explain that to him when he's on my left. So I open my left window, and with a van that's obviously wider than a car, you're shouting for a longer distance. And also, he had the same van as me, but he was, I don't know whether it's a higher van or I don't know. But yeah, I'm just basically ignoring or, trying to state my case to the guy. And he says, you want to report me? Then go ahead, report me. I said, report me. It's fine. I'll just tell them, what happened in my story. I mean, reporting somebody, I've seen it happen to my brother, who apparently I believe it. It was a single lane each direction, but there was super wide lanes, like to fit two cars past it. And there's this car apparently going, I don't know, 40 and a 60 or something, and he's like trying to go around him. So he goes to the right, the guy moves over to the right, he goes to the left, the guy moves over to the left. So he goes to the right, the guy moves over to the right, and then he goes around the left of him. And basically, he got a letter in the mail from, I don't know, police or whatever, saying, giving him a warning for whatever bad, dangerous overtaking or something, I don't know. Where this person must have called up, reported what happened or something. I'm just saying, so reporting, as far as I'm aware, you get a letter.
And what did the letter say? Just said what? Fucking don't do this again.
Yeah, probably. Something like that. I mean, yeah, probably. I don't know 100%, but nothing exciting.
Sounds a bit odd, doesn't it?
But you probably could state your case back, in replying to the letter to whoever the police officer or whoever sent the letter to you. You can reply back with your
have a little letter argument with the police officer about something that occurred fucking a month ago that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
No action's going to be taken anyway, and
yeah, sure.
Really got time for that shit, eh? Like seriously.
Yeah, so as I said,
of when my old man used to send letters to the fucking either like the newspaper or the council about like fucking trivial shit like the letter boxes in the wrong spot or something like that, and I'm just like, for fuck's sake, really? Like, who cares? Who fucking cares, really? Like, better things
did
to
you
worry
die?
about
Was there a
shit.
collision? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Was there property damage?
Yeah, that's where I think it sort of like draws. That's where the line is, eh? And like that's where something should be done about it if there was damage.
Well,
I mean, unless there's video proof, what's the proof? There is no proof. Two people are saying something happened when the other one could be fucking bullshitting. Do you know what I mean? It's just hearsay. And fucking. Whereas if you've got damage, then okay, you've got some grounds to go. Okay, this guy damaged my bike, and this is how it happened. Then it makes a bit more sense to go about, following it up or following it through. But yeah, just fucking shitty little pissy things like that. Just for fuck's sake, get on with your life, eh?
Well, that's why they only send you a letter for it when someone complains. Because it is hearsay, yeah. So yeah, end of my story is I said to the guy, yeah, report me, that's fine, do it. And then we went our way. That's whatever.
That was the end of it.
But to think that someone was on their horn in the right lane when I'm turning into the left lane, I can't understand it. D says doesn't have internet. Sad. Doesn't have internet when he used to have the best internet possible.
Better internet than all of us. Obviously, you got your phone though. Jump in on that and just turn it to audio only. Don't use no data.
I don't think you can turn your phone to audio only.
Yeah, you can. You do it.
I don't.
I just meant without the camera, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, without your camera on, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it doesn't use too much data when you don't have a camera on, and assuming that no one else has a camera on or screen sharing, yes. No data is used on a Hangout for your phone. About 30 megabytes an hour. Something ridiculously little.
Yeah, it seems to ring a bell. Yeah. I reckon everyone needs to chill out a little bit. But yeah, it definitely takes two to tango, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I
I
suppose you
haven't
got
seen.
situations where fucking people will just ignore it and then the other person just chases them down but until no end, you know what I mean? And I've had that happen before. Fucking some dude got the shits on with me for some reason, fucking followed me halfway back to Bunbury. And we ended up pulling into the cop shop because he kept fucking just being a dickhead. But yeah, you just don't know who you're messing with, and it doesn't have to be like a bad thing, like you're a sick cunt or anything like that. But I don't know, someone could just be having a really bad day and just run you over. You know what I mean? I just think it's fuck. Just don't know, unless it's one of your mates or something. You're playing around. It's not worth it. Taking the chance, is it? Really?
No, so if someone's having a bad day, they hit your tyre, just get off the bike, let them run your bike over.
Yeah.
You got you got the footage. It's all right. You just jump out of the way.
It'll make a good YouTube video. That'll almost pay for the
Yeah,
bike,
that'd
and
be
then you'll
epic.
have to pay for your new bike. So there again, you'll end up on
Get
top.
2 bikes and he didn't even rage.
Yeah. And now your channel's got fucking 10 million subscribers.
Pretty much. Just because your bike got mowed down.
Mowed over by a fucking squeezer. Yeah. Yeah. And not many people like think too hardly about it at the time, eh? When it's just happening, it's all like reaction sort of thing. And been a couple of those, I thought about that afterwards, and you go, oh fuck, you know, that could have ended pretty shit, really. We just kept taking it further and further and further until someone does something real stupid, runs into you or rams you or something like that. We had this guy at work. We came in and there was a kid in there getting like a chain for a bike. And he's like, that kid broke into my fucking workshop or something like that. And he went and called all these fucking the guys at the workshop. And these 2 guys went to leave. They jumped in the car, and some dude from this other workshop has like come across the lawn in front of the work, because it's sort of like a parallel fucking car park to the roads. It's a bit weird. And then there's like a grass verge sort of separating it. And these guys are just like reversing out of the car park. And the dude jumped the grass in this fucking Land Cruiser and just rammed them into another car so they couldn't get away. We're all in the car park right out the front of work. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious, bro? And 10 seconds before that all happened, right where the other car was, the car that the main car that got rammed into, there was like about a 14 to 15-year-old kid doing work experience, and he was getting something out of the ute. And then I went over to the dude, and I'm like, "What are you doing, mate? You can't just fucking ram cars, whether he stole something or not. You can't just ram them into another car in a fucking car park." And he's like, "Yeah, but he fucking broke into my thing." And I'm like, "No, see that young bloke? You just about fucking squashed him between the things, and this would be a totally different thing. Like, yeah, he might have broken into your workshop, but is that worth killing someone else over about trying to get back at him? Do you know what I mean?" So yeah, all right, he might have fucking broke into your thing and got like $1,000 worth of whatever it was, and you go to jail for the rest of your life for trying to get it back at him. Do you know what I mean? And fucking ruin someone else's life at the same time. It's not. It just doesn't make sense to me. But that's what I'm saying. They don't really think about that shit at the time. They're just like, and just do whatever.
Yeah,
But it makes you wonder, who else is in here?
dodgy.
Oh, it's two of you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I sort of think we'll probably only see more of it with more and more fucking people getting on and doing vlogging and more new riders getting out there watching all these fucking raging videos and
rage for ages.
wanting to make their own fucking rage video. You know, I'm surprised it sort of hasn't happened more, to be honest.
I haven't seen any rage videos for ages, really.
Hey?
I haven't seen any rage videos for ages, really.
Yeah, well, I don't really watch many of the people that do that sort of stuff, so that's probably half the reason why I haven't seen it. But
For sure.
it used to be, I remember watching heaps of videos and fucking, it used to be a bit of a fad for a little while. People just fucking loving it. But yeah, nah. Get over it pretty quick. And you go, oh, it's not really worth it. You've got to be
So I'm not sure
pretty fucking careful these days.
about. So finish with that topic. Just don't rage.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone's really watched my video all the way through.
Sorry, what?
Don't know if anyone's really watched my video all the way through.
I watched it a couple of times because I watched most of it one time and then kept it open because I had to go to bed or something like that. And then the next morning when I restarted the computer, it come back up and I watched like most of it again. And then I watched it on my lunch break, and then I realized I forgot to comment, and I had to go back and comment when I found it up when I was looking through my tabs earlier. But yeah, I think you just need a bit more practice, and if you had an off-road bike, I'm sure you'd pick it up super quick. So it didn't look like you had any trouble having a go at it, and that's probably the hardest thing at first. Is most people when they jump on a dirt bike, they're scared to just like have a go at certain things. You know what I mean? Whereas I think if you jumped on it, if you knew how to do it or not, you'd probably have a go, and that's what you need.
Except doing massive jumps.
Well, yeah, you don't have to do that, but you know what I mean. Like, oh well, I don't know many people who'd just be like, oh, if I've never done it before, if I can go, oh yeah, I'll just take my sports bike through this fucking creek here. But yeah, like I say, if you had a dirt bike, I think you'd be fine. And the reason you fucked up there is because you dropped into a rut, and then the rut obviously goes where it goes, and you were trying to steer straight out of it. So you went up the top bit and then you dropped in. You should start at the start of the rut and follow the rut through, and you would have been fine.
Yeah, and slower. But I
Yeah,
think
well,
that's where the
yeah,
bike was
revving
going.
the
That's
piss
what
out
it
of it and
was.
dropping the clutch into it wouldn't help either, too, Dodge.
Yeah, but I knew the bike was going there. You know, I'm looking at a straight line. That's where the bike. How am I going to turn it?
Yeah,
That's
but
what
if
I'm
you
saying.
look where you went in, sort of thing, you could see it curved around and it wasn't going straight on the line you were, and that's what you just got to follow
Yeah, for
that
sure.
the deep bit.
But
Let the
that's what I
bike
was saying.
take you. You don't take the bike. Let the bike take you, and you just go with it, and you'll be fine. I just, like I say, obviously you've never done it before. You didn't know what it was going to do, and that's why. But I'm just telling you, I've been operating off road since I was fucking 3 years old. I'm not trying to fucking.
Yeah, well, the steering wheel definitely was going to go left, essentially, but I was too fast.
Yeah, but that's because you dropped into the rut from the top. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever been full driving and you got to stick in the lines? Otherwise, it will try and steer the wheels for you,
Yeah.
fighting it the whole time. But if you jump into the lines and just flow with it, you'll be perfectly fine. Same thing with a dirt bike in the bush, man. You just follow the rut. Don't fight it. You try and get one wheel out of that rut, and it will just spit you off like it's fucking nothing. Just follow it. Stay loose on the bars. You'll be fine. Don't go a million miles an hour.
I'm just saying the way through that I intended to go was the way I went. And that's what I was talking about.
That,
like, there's a turn.
but that's what I'm telling you. A little bit more, doing it a few more times, and you'll learn to spot the right way through it, which obviously wasn't that. And you'll know from then on.
But
to follow
that is the way. That is the way Sweet Man went through the first time. Because he went down the middle and then over to the right. Yeah, through the right bit. But he knows what he's doing. So yeah, dirt bike, yeah, of course it's ideal. But I'm not. There's none that really say I can say that I need that one at the moment. I think an ideal bike would be between 250, less than a 690, obviously no road servicing, and
a 350 EXC.
what? Isn't that like a race bike?
No,
What
it's
is
a
it?
KTM. It's just like a WR450, but a little bit smaller capacity. You probably get more Ks to a tank. It's going to be lighter, a bit more durable, I think. Well, maybe not durable, but more.
But it's a race bike, like it's race services. It's not.
Yeah, well, you know what the options are. Unless a new bike comes out, they're not going to change. So
yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Everyone keeps saying to you, DRZ is your best option because many people have been through this problem.
Oh yeah, this is what I'm saying. The only thing that's really stopping me from going DRZ is the carburetor.
Well, that's not stopping you at all. It's just a barrier in your mind for some weird reason. It doesn't really make sense to anyone else.
It does. It uses more fuel than fuel injected.
Oh my god! Guess what, Dodge? You can't have a fuel injected one. So just buy a fucking normal one and deal with it. Don't be a weird like, oh, I'd get fucking 0.1 more fucking kilometers a tank if I had fuel injection, and it just makes it so I can't have one. Come on now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, well, I was probably going to buy the one I saw previously, but then that sold because that was obviously too good to be true. So someone miss it. What was that? 4,000 Ks on it.
Oh, you can find another one. It doesn't have to be
old. Yeah, I don't want an overly modified one. But anyway, so as I'm saying, there isn't one specific. There was, but there isn't now that I want to buy. Obviously not a new one because not particularly when I spent $8,000.
It's like saying, oh, I want to buy a new car, but I can't find the one that I wanted right now, so I won't buy a new car. I'll go out and do something else instead.
Well, that's what I do with my
You just
import.
keep an eye out for the right one that's up for you, don't you? You don't just go drive it off and go, oh, I'm not getting one.
No. You keep an eye out. That's right. And that's obviously what I did with importing a car. You give them your list of what you're looking for, and they will find it.
Who a list?
The importer.
Oh, no one imports cars with you, Dodge. Come on now.
For a car back in the day.
Import cars. I'm not a millionaire. Buy which scrungy ones have already been in Australia for years.
I didn't like any of those, so I just went to an importer. But yeah, no, DRZ probably is the best, other than the carburetor, yes. And what I'm saying is, the bike without a carburetor in those parameters doesn't exist. Yes, I know that. But to buy a DRZ now, really, I don't really need it now. I'd probably.
Well, let's face it, you don't really
keen to go my road bike. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, maybe something will come out in a year, and if it doesn't, I'll probably end up with a DRZ. That's all right. But yeah, there's no need to essentially rush into it with the first one that I find that seems good.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, keep an eye out, but obviously I won't be able to afford it. So it's not really a point of keeping an eye out until I can afford it. But when I can afford it, for a dirt bike, I'm thinking I might as well shop even interstate as well, be fine. Since it will be my second bike at the time, that's all right. I can go extreme measures to get the right one. But right now, to go and get the right one and shop interstate and that, no, it's not that motivated at the moment,
I keep thinking I have a lot less money than I have. I don't know why, but I just do. Keep looking at my bank account. There's more money in there than I expect. It's a good problem to have, but
yeah, sounds good to me.
It's also not like me. I've usually got no money or minus money.
Well, you haven't found anything to buy lately.
Yeah. I'm trying to save up for a new bike as well, so that's a good thing.
So what price range are you looking at? 5,000?
Whatever price range is the cheapest bike that I like that turns up. And I pretty much narrowed it down to either a VFR 800 or a 636. The VFR would be great for when I do the trip over, but the 636 is really the one I want. Do you know what I mean? But the VFR is the bike that'll do everything. And they sound amazing. I would make it really, really loud. $420. What's going on? I haven't seen you for a while, mate.
I only see him on Instagram.
No one's joining tonight.
He's putting his feet in some puddles the other week.
Oh yeah.
On that Snapchatty Instagram thing.
Do you have a Snapchat, Dodge?
No.
No, I mean, all the people at work keep going on about it, and I watched like one of the young blokes, The Apprentice Anthony. He's like, "Oh, check out this snap from my mate," and I was like, watched it, and I was just like, "Why are people communicating this way? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's crap." And I'm thinking, why the fuck did we need a whole new application just to do this? Because you could either put short videos on your Facebook or Instagram or fucking Twitter, and it'd be almost the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Especially Instagram. It takes 10 seconds to make a short fucking video with Instagram and put it up. And isn't that what the attraction is with Snapchat? It's quick and easy to do.
Well,
guess
only
what?
recently that Instagram does everything.
Oh, you've been able to do Instagram videos for ages.
Oh, yeah, videos.
It was the same thing, is it not? It's a short fucking video.
But Snapchats disappear.
Oh, well, you could make your other ones disappear if you didn't want people to see them as well. You know what I mean? Like, again.
Oh, you can unsend things.
Doesn't matter if someone's already fucking seen it.
Yeah, you can send people messages and then you can unsend them.
Again, I just do not see the point of it. None of it makes any sense to me. Maybe I'm just getting old, but sounds silly.
Yeah, my internet's slow again. Doesn't make any sense to me.
So how come your internet went real fast all of a sudden?
That was the proper speed it should be.
Yeah, I know, but it was going slow before, and then all of a sudden it sped back up, didn't you say? So.
Oh, good. And now it's slow again.
Oh, is it?
What day was this? This was yesterday at 2. I sent you a message. I think this morning I checked it and it said 42, 17 down, 17 up. That's where it should be. But yeah, I think, yesterday I was working all good till 9 p.m. and there's like a switch and just went to like under 10 megabytes down. I don't know. I just assumed yesterday, oh, they fixed it because it's been weeks that it's been rubbish. And now today again, obviously it's but this morning it was good, I'm saying, and then this afternoon again, it's all fail again. No idea. It's so fluctuating that you can't really call up and complain almost.
I notice your ping is like a arse load better than mine though. Did it say 47 when the picture you sent to me?
Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. That's what I'm saying.
Mine's like 200 and something, man. Hey, seriously.
Well, yours the other time was 100.
I'm sure it was like 200. I'm going to retest it now, but I was a bit annoyed because when Troy came around, he tested it on his phone, like with some other fucking thing, and he's like, no, it's about right. And I'm like, no, surely, like, because you know when I play that fucking game, dudes sometimes, you can tell when it's lagging a bit, and dudes will shoot you, and you don't even see them. And I'm like, that just happened, and I didn't even see it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's something going on there.
Well, our ping's always rubbish in that game.
Oh, what? My ping just went at 74 milliseconds.
So it's good now. So
yeah, it is good. That is good, yeah.
But it seems to fluctuate. I don't get it.
19, 20 megabytes up. Down, sorry. It's down, sorry. .23 up, which is pretty much right because it's 25. It's supposed to be 25 up, 25 down, 5 up. So it's within a couple of what it should be.
Here you go. I'm getting failed. Obviously been hanging out, but whatever. 137 ping. 173.
Yours is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear mine was like that the other day. It was like 201 or 209 or something like that. And I was like, what? Surely not. But yeah, every time I go to play that game, it's like since my ping's fucking shit. Dudes just stomp me and I'm like, fuck this.
And I've got 10 down, 14 up right now.
Radio.
Yeah, it's rubbish. As soon as my ping's over 100, I know it's a fail speed.
Select another server to test on.
No, this is the best server. This has always been the best server. And I believe it. It's failed right now.
It's fail right now.
I was struggling to watch 128. Was it? Is that the lowest bit rate on YouTube, whatever it is? Struggling to watch the lowest bit rate on YouTube at some point.
No, it's been pretty good. That sort of stuff.
But when I get my cap, when I reach my cap of the internet, I
That's
can
why
watch
you go
the
unlimited.
lowest. I can watch the lowest resolution easily. So for it to be struggling when I'm not even at my cap, that's crazy. It's crazy slow speed.
Give them a shout and ask them about it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some settings they can fiddle with on their end and make you a little bit.
Well, as I'm saying, it's like the other day I tested it and it was perfect.
Yeah.
This morning it was 42 down and 18 up, as it should be. So I assure it's fixed, and then the next couple of hours it's like failed.
Mine was all right when it was connected a while ago. When it was connected, it was perfectly fine. But as soon as it kept on fucking doing the little disconnect thing all the time, and I got so pissed off with it, I just ended up calling him. And it ended up being a broken line on near the exchange. And once they fixed it, it was perfect all times and never had an issue, and it was a bit faster as well. So that's what I'm saying. You can't hurt to give them a call and to say, hey, every now and again this keeps fucking happening, and it's pretty consistent, a couple of times a week sort of thing. Can you have a look into it? And surely they might just be able to do a little fucking thing on your line and go, oh, hang on a minute, we'll just try doing this and reset your connection and see what happens.
Well, I think the best time to call up would be when the problem is happening. All right. So yesterday I was working all good until 9 p.m. So I'm not going to call at 9 p.m.
I don't know. You working tomorrow?
Yeah.
Got to do some bits and pieces tomorrow. Annoying. Really be bothered, but this is what it is. Still been looking at vans. Nothing really exciting's popped up yet though. Because I was thinking if I got a van, I could also bring my mini bike and dirt bike, and we could go dirt bike riding. Because I have multiples, and that would really show you what for.
Yeah, I know where.
Oh, it doesn't matter where. We'll just find a bit of fucking dirt and I'll bring a couple of helmets and we'll be fine.
Would you mind salty dirt?
Nah, don't care at all. It's a dirt bike.
Because I've been out on a swampland where people take their. Well, I've been there, and there's people who take their unregistered little kids' bikes and
made
them ride around.
That's the way. I'll just bring the KTM and the mini bike, and we just swap. Keep swapping.
Only 2 bikes, so not a road bike.
Well, yeah, I'd load them all in, but I only got 2 dirt bikes.
Wow. 3 bikes in a van.
Yeah, that'd fit, I reckon. Because it's only really 2 bikes. The mini bike would just fit right at the end anyway, and just stuck in anyway.
I remember seeing a video when I was looking into van transporting. Obviously, I already had a van, but anyway. They showed putting like pillows or whatever on the side and leaning it against the side of the van. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Whether you'd look into doing that.
Oh no, I've got tie downs. So you tie them down properly into the van.
Just
Like
both
a heavy
straight
load.
to the front.
Oh, wherever you just put tie down points. Van
hopefully
screw points.
Cargo barrier both straight to the front, next to each other.
Yeah, well, you put them off the bars and then go straight down, and then you to the two of them next to each other going the same way, and then the third bike you go the other way with the bars that they're pointing to the back of the van, and strap it down again straight to the end, and then they all fit in there snug like Tetris, and then you just put all your shit around the outsides. And I'd be by myself as well, so I'd have all the passenger seat to load fucking extra shit up onto, cameras and all that sort of stuff if there's not enough room, which there would be anyway. And the one I was looking at the other day for $2,500 had like a roof rack and all that shit as well. And I could put a basket on the roof and carry extra shit on there if I needed to, which I don't need that much room. It's plenty fit of all my shit on my motorbike. I don't need that much room. But if I was bringing my dirt bike, I'd need to bring my gear bag and couple of jerry cans and stuff as well. So. But I did actually. I talked to this dude that comes into work. He's got a ZX10, right? He's a hell older dude. He's like 60 something like that, but he's always had this ZX10. I was like, I just started talking to him. I was like, oh, how many Ks to a tank do you get on your ZX10? And he's like, because it's a 2006, so pretty much what I'd get if I was going to get one. And he goes, oh, if I'm just cruising, like if I'm doing a long trip, I can get about 310 to 320 Ks. But if I start leaning on it, it can be as short as 220 Ks. And I was like, all right. And I said, because I was thinking about going to fucking across the Nullarbor to South Australia. And he's like, oh, yeah, I've done that trip like 3 times. I was like, oh, yeah. And he goes, yeah, he told me what the hardest part was. And I can't even remember the name of the town now. And he said, as long as you get there, fucking fine, you'll make it everywhere else, which in the year I can see he never had a problem, and I do more Ks to a tank than he does, so that's no issue. But anyway, I said, oh yeah, I fucking was hoping to like go most of the way through the night and fucking get there all in one hit, and he just like sort of chuckled and was just like, nah, don't do it. And he goes, the amount of roos on the side of the road that you see even during the day, he reckons he'd never ride past about 8 o'clock at night. And he's done it 3 times, and he said he just pulls over and fucking camps it because fucking he reckons he tried it the very first time, and he reckons he fucking almost cleaned about 10 of them up, and after the 10th one, he was like, fuck this, and just pulled over and had a sleep. And he said it's not only that, there's camels and emus as well, so it's like war zone.
What if you just beat
it's like every fucking 100 Ks, you'll see about 30 fucking roos on the side of the road that other people have hit going through at night. If you've got like a Land Cruiser with a bull bar, yeah, then okay, but if you're on a motorbike, he's like, you're just fucking asking for trouble. I'm like, oh, fuck.
I can't imagine there'd be much of an issue in the pitch black. I mean, they're more active in the sunrise sunset.
I don't know, I thought they were more active at night, especially in the evenings anyway.
Oh, well, I did hit one, didn't I, on my way back from way out of Sydney. And, you know, that's a multi-lane road. You can't even do anything about it.
I wouldn't generally take one person's word for it, but that's like the third person that's told me that now as well. Because the guy that does part time with me at the moment, Dan, he did it on a postie bike, and he reckons fucking. He said the same thing. He was the first one to tell me, but he's always a little bit over exaggerating. So I just sort of went, "Oh yeah, okay, no worries," and just took it with a grain of salt. But then I was talking to Russell the other day with the ZX10, and he was like, "Nah, man, don't do it, eh?" And I'm just like, "Okay." And I know that cunt knows his shit because he's that guy I was telling you about with the ZX10 who strapped a light bar to the front so he could do more night riding and stuff like that. And he rides everywhere. He does like thousands of Ks a fucking week, and he's like, "Nah, don't do it." I'm like, "All right."
Hmm. Well, yes, there's potential obstacles at night, yes, and in the daytime.
Oh fuck! There's a high ace here. 2-liter diesel non-turbo, 5-speed manual. 2,300, but the kilometers on it, 500,000 Ks. Holy shit balls!
I had my van. My previous van was 500,000.
Yeah, but I would buy a car that's done 500,000 with you driving it, Dodge. I don't know about anyone else.
Only because I obviously would spend the money whenever and fix it when it's something wrong. But for $2,000,
That you don't own like dirt bikes and thrash the piss out of all your cars and stuff like that. That's what all these guys do over here. The only reason everyone ever has a van is because they want to transport their dirt bikes around, and it's fucking usually fucking being lowered and fucking got stiff springs in it and then vibrated everywhere. And
well, sure, yeah, don't get one that's modified
Troy
in that
just
way.
messaged
No.
me and he just put a bet on at Tab, a $3 mystery bet, and won $2,100.
Okay, sounds good. Now he can afford his new MT09. Great.
Oh, that dude gets fucking more money than both of us put together, Dodge, a year. You wouldn't even want to know how much money he makes. It's not even funny. And he's always fucking like winning shit like that. It makes no sense, eh? It's just the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Like old man.
Troy works at a power station. That's all I'm going to say.
I know,
He makes
doesn't
a
sound like
lot
too
of
hard
money.
work.
Hey?
Would that be hard work?
It's not hard work, but you get paid a lot because it's expensive shit you're playing with. Like one of the generators went down or broke or something at his work, and it's going to cost 10 million to fix. That's sort of the money you're fucking controlling with. So you get paid
Wow,
a
well,
lot.
10 million to fix is going to take like a whole crew of people to fix that.
Yeah.
A whole crane machine and everything. But you know, well, look at the. I don't see anything wrong with a 500,000 Ks. Really, I mean, especially for $2,000. That's sort of how much they are.
Yeah, check this out. This is one I was looking at.
And you're not losing much at $2,000, as long as it runs good. Oh, I can't. I'm on the phone.
Oh.
Unless you message it to me.
No, I'm not doing that. No, and they hold the value pretty well. I mean, it's never going to go less than $2,500 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's fucking dented or fucked up or something like that, it's not going to go down in value.
And so these aren't even dented.
No. This was a pretty good condition. Well, it looks pretty good.
Well,
from what I can see.
Well, me and my brother were driving around. Me and my brother were driving around old high aces rages, and they were dented as. I didn't do any of it, but they sort of came like that. I don't know. Well, he did some damage to his. And mine was like ex van off my dad, and he had put lots of dings in it. So I'm just saying those two vans, they had heaps of dings in. So it's pretty amazing to find no non-dented old high ace.
I'm sure there is some. Just saying that one wasn't. Fucking hell.
But in reality, I don't see why there should be dings in anything, really. I haven't got any dings in my van. It's what is it? What am I up to? 210,000 Ks on it. No dings. No permanent damage. That's not fixed. Maybe a few rock trips in the front. That's sort of wear and tear, I suppose.
There you go. Oh, that was a petrol one. Don't know how great you want a petrol one, but $2,000 Mitsubishi Express. 297,000 kilometers registered.
Mitsubishi Expresses are tiny. You won't.
Yeah, they're a bit smaller, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to be huge. Just needs to be.
So the thing with petrol is I can only speak for the Toyotas, and I'm talking old Toyotas and the new petrol Toyotas, regardless, just the petrol Toyota Hiaces. 14 litres per 100 kilometres.
Jeepers.
So yeah, and that's the old carby ones and the new fuel injected ones. Same.
Actually,
14 litres.
I would go with that because one of the vans I was looking at the other day, I think it might have been the Express actually, had the same engine as my old Ford Courier, and that thing was a fucking sieve. It just used to chew juice like nothing I'd ever driven before. And it was the same engine, carby, like fucking 2.6 litre piece of snot.
And what is it, like 70 litres and you get like 400 Ks?
I got less than that, especially when you were doing like trying to do 110 Ks on the highway because it had big fucking wheels on it. It was high, it was big wind resistance, and then it like was revving at like fucking $6,500 just fucking going at 110.
So this is why I'd say diesel.
Well, yeah, I'd agree with you too, but I can only choose from what's for sale at the right price. So
yeah. So you just gotta. I wouldn't shy away from that 500,000 K one. Because I've probably got 70 litre tanks now, and it's 600 Ks a tank. Well, it might even be 65 litre tank. I don't even know. I think the most I ever got was like 650 Ks and ran out of fuel.
oh well, here you go. I'll have a look at this then. Tell me what you reckon.
How do I see it?
Oh well, fuck! Why are you on your stupid phone? For God's sake, it's just painful.
Computer turned off.
So turn it back on, you weirdo.
I want to go to sleep.
But that you sit there on your phone.
Yeah.
Very painful, Dodge.
So the way I discovered diesels was my old van had to get some stuff fixed with it, so I had to rent a van for probably just 2 days for 2 weeks, so just 4 days basically. And the rental place gave me a diesel, and I was just like, wow. It costed me $50 a day for this van, and it's like saving me $30 a day in fuel.
Yeah.
Compared to some huge amount of dollars a day it was saving me. Compared to what my rubbish petrol van did.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I borrowed my mate's Navara, I think it was, and it was like it was a brand new one at the time. It was like a 2012 or 2013 model, 6-speed fucking manual. And then I filled it up because I had to go pick something up. I filled it up in Bunbury before I left. I think it was like 60 or 70 litres. And then expecting to have to fill it up in Perth again, I went to Perth, like north Perth, and then did some driving around there, and then went somewhere like fucking, I think it was like Two Rocks or something, which is like hell north. It's like 250 k's away from here. Perth's only 180 k's away, so it's like a fair bit past Perth. Did some shit around there, driving around there, and then drove all the way home, and I still had a third of a tank. And I was like, what the fuck? I've done like 600 k's, and I'm still, it was like 500 k's, and still had a third of a tank left. I was like, how many fucking k's does this thing do? So I ended up keep on driving it around for the rest of the thing, because I was like, I was going to fill it back up for him anyway. So I kept driving it, and it did almost 700 and something k's. It was ridiculous. And I was just like, fuck yeah, these new diesels are the shit. And the new ones don't drive like the old diesels used to. You know what I mean? When you used to get like a fucking 90s model fucking four-wheel drive, they were the slowest, boringest piece of shits to drive.
No,
but now, like they drive like almost like a normal car, like a petrol engine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a turbo sports car.
Yeah. So there's no reason not to have a decent diesel. Like I always, back in the day, you'd be like, fuck, I wouldn't get one of those Golf diesels or one of those other ones. And we had one at Battery World. We had one of the VW Caddies, and that was a 5-speed turbo diesel, 1.6 litre, I think it was, or a 1.5 litre turbo diesel. And that thing was awesome. And again, that thing did like 700 k's to a tank. I used to always fill it up and then look at the range, and it was always between like 700 and 790 k's. It was like ridiculous.
Yep. And they got so much torque. I got 300 torques in my van.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
good.
man. Since having my van, one time I had to rent. I can't remember. Oh, because I had to get the rear door fixed. I had to rent a van, and they gave me a petrol one. And I just filled it up, like weight-wise, like I normally do. Doesn't even move anyway. Because it's got no torque.
Yeah, I did that. Like I said, when I had my four-wheel drive, I got a petrol one only because like I bought it off my neighbour and he was selling it cheap, so I was going to buy that one regardless. I only paid $1,000 for it, and I sold it for $2,400, so I did pretty well. But yeah, when I was driving that around, I was like, oh yeah, petrol one, at least, like, even though it uses a bit more petrol, at least it'll be fucking like half quick, you know what I mean? And nah, just fucking slug anyway, so might as well just get a diesel these days anyway.
And yeah, it's from renting that one that I know it's still 14 litres 100. And when I rented that one, I'm like, Oh man, I'm so lucky that time years ago they gave me a diesel one. Otherwise, I would never have bought a new van. Would have never discovered diesels.
Saved yourself a lot of money over the years.
Yeah, buying a diesel. I worked it out. It was saving like $4,000 a year in fuel at the time. What was I doing? 1,100 Ks a week.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, eh? Fuel's fucking. I filled up today. I filled the bike up, and it was like hell low because I ran out of fuel the other day. I had to fucking start it on choke and quickly ride to the fuel station. So I put like the $4 that was in my pants in the fuel tank, and then forgot to do it until today. So it was like bone dry almost. Filled it up right to the top, and it cost me $23.54 at $1.56, I think it was a litre. So what's that, like 17 litres or something? And I was just like, fucking hell. I wish my bike was diesel, but still had the same performance.
Yeah. It's so funny. People saying, oh, the fuel price is high. I'm like, what? No, it doesn't. Oh, right, diesel. Never mind. Oh, it's because I don't even look at the petrol price. I look at the diesel price, and the diesel price never changes. Well, I'm still filling up like $1.17. What?
So it did for a little while there. It went up for a little
It
bit.
does change, but not weekly like the fuel price.
Yeah, not as drastically and as often as the fuel.
Yeah, I'm still filling up $1.17 no diesel.
It's a bit painful.
So it uses less fuel, costs less dollars to fill it up.
Do they even sell petrol vans anymore, like new ones?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, the highest you can buy diesel or petrol.
Still can? Yeah, right.
Well, I haven't looked into it, but I'm sure you can.
I knew you used to be able to, obviously, but I just didn't know they still did. Because why would you these days, almost, you know what I mean? Whole point of having a van is to lug heaps of shit, so diesel helps there.
Well, it costs more, so they're still going to sell the options and make it cheaper for people to afford. You know, people are going to buy, the manual petrol long wheelbase for like 30-something grand. Or I got the diesel auto super massive van. Like the dearest one they offered.
Yeah, that makes sense because you're using it for work and stuff, though. But I would have got a fucking diesel manual long wheelbase.
Smaller one,
All right,
then,
well, we might go off air now anyway, because like I said, it's going to be a short one today because I've got heaps of shit to do. So we'll go off air and it'll just be me and you. And then if you have to go to bed, then that's fine.
eh? All right.